gonna like talk about the project that we both are working together on, HERway and her story.
Yeah.
So HERway show,
Yeah.
as you know, is interviewing or having conversation with women from around the world to put themselves out there, share their dreams, fears, how they got to where they are today. And I'm really excited for you to share your journey with everyone today.
Thank you.
A little bit about Jouhayna AlMheiri. So Jouhayna is an air traffic controller, and her journey is extremely interesting. I'm not going to do a lot of introduction today because I think she has a lot to share. So Jouhayna, can you please share with everyone where you're from, what do you do, what was your way, and how did you get to the woman you are today? So what's your way?
Okay, so my way is, first of all, I'll just, my name is Jouhayna, but everyone can call me Joe because people tend to forget. So easy way is Joe. Even at work, my initials are Joe. So that's the easiest way. I am Emirati. My mother is Tanzanian. My father is Emirati. And I was raised in the UAE, born and raised over here. And I'm gonna, this, can you still hear me clearly? Is that fine?
Much better.
Much better? Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was born and raised over here. And growing up, it was mostly an all-female household. It was me, my mom, and my two sisters. And we met in school. So we were in private school together. That's how I met to start with. And then after that, through high school, I didn't know what I wanted to do. Got into, I decided to apply to many different scholarships because being a Marathi, there are many opportunities available, which is amazing. So I applied to pilot programs in ATC, different types of engineering, urban planning, and eventually I got ATC. I went in,
I think the voice is not working very well. I think you need to go back to your earphone. Yeah. The voice is not working very well. I'm trying to get you. I think so.
Okay.
Put on the phone on a flat
How about now?
surface as the sound is bouncing back. Okay. Yeah, much better.
Okay. Is it better now? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so where did I reach? Yeah, so I applied to the ATC program as well as a bunch of other scholarship programs. And when I did get accepted to get called in, you have to do 3 types of exams. So you do English, math, physics, and it's all time pressured exams. Then after that, if you pass that phase, you get called in for an interview. And then after that, after the interview, once you pass it, then you get accepted into the program. So that's basically how it works in the ATC perspective.
So this is how you became the air traffic controller, right?
Yeah.
So tell me about your journey.
The journey is, well, so it was an all-girl household. Like I said, it was myself, my mom, and my 2 sisters. And my mother was a veterinarian, and she had her own veterinary practice. So growing up, I would help her every Saturday, and I'd work with her every single Saturday because that was the one day I could go and it didn't affect school. So I would been working with her from the time I was maybe 10 until I was 18, 19. And then I got into ATC. But I built into a whole work ethic from the time I was young. And, you know, my mother was mostly the provider in the family. So I learned a lot from her. And let's see, what else is there? Yeah, that's basically how it all started off. Like I was taught to earn everything for myself and work hard for myself to make it in anything. And she initially wanted me to be a veterinarian. And I was like, it's going to take too long to do that because, you know, she took care of myself and my sisters for the longest time. And after that, I was like, I could see she's getting tired, you know. She was the sole provider, and I was like, listen, mom, since I'm the eldest, let me try and help you out. So if I want to become a veterinarian, it takes 7 years. If I wanted to get into different scholarships, when I looked at them, ATC was the one that it was the quickest one to finish off, and the money was decent as well, alhamdulillah. And so I applied for it, but the chances that you don't know if you're going to pass until the end of your journey, which is 2.5 years later. So basically what happened was I had to take that chance because I
Yeah.
knew I had to start taking care of my family and like providing, even though it's supposed to be, an older male figure that does that. So I knew I had to step up, and that's basically what pushed me on this journey, because I knew I suddenly had to provide based on what I could see, like she had me when she was much older and all that.
So basically, how old are you now?
25.
So you're 25, Emirati Tanzanian,
Yeah.
air traffic controller, family
Yeah.
provider, and
Yeah.
a lot of things are happening in the backseat.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on different things. Like when coronavirus hit, I was like, I'm gonna start trying to do something new. So started drawing again because I always did that growing up.
Yeah.
And then I started like an online art shop, which you saw, and I made you an art piece as well. And
Okay,
then I'm
I'm
also
getting that
studying
the
on the
sound
side.
is really bad. I think, hang on. So everyone is saying that the sound, I'm sorry I'm cutting you, but the sound is really bad.
Oh
So
no,
I
it's
think you
fine.
need to, okay. I can hear you, but a lot of people are saying that the sound
Okay.
is bad. So maybe we can try it without the earpods.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay, is that better now? Because I don't know if I can
I
hold
think,
it up the whole time. I'll try.
okay, I think it sounds
Is it
better.
better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Is everyone happy? Ish?
yes, the sound is not. Okay, good. Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
I'll hold
Okay,
it.
so earlier today when we spoke over the phone, we discussed that we're gonna be talking about you being intimidating to other people in the society, given where you are today and how you present to yourself in the society, whether it's in the workplace. And just to plug in something here, so Jouhayna is the second Emirati woman to be in this position, which is the air traffic controller. Maybe you can give us a little brief about what is an air traffic controller, and then we can go into the part where people find you intimidating and what are the obstacles you've been facing because of that.
Okay, well, basically, air traffic control. Sorry about that. That's my dog.
Don't
Air
worry
traffic
about it.
control is basically controlling airplanes that are flying in the sky. So it's basically in my Instagram handle, it's called Voice on a Pilot's Headset. And it basically means that I have to transmit to a pilot on my headset and tell the pilot that what instructions need to be carried out in order to remain separated from other aircraft and any
Yeah.
other obstructions. So it could be terrain and mountains that are in Ras Al Khaimah, or it could be on the runway, on the ground. But I personally work with high-level airplanes, and high-level means like in altitude. I work in the area control center, so I basically work with airplanes that are already overflying the country or are about to
Yeah.
land. And if anyone's ever had a hold over Dubai or Abu Dhabi, that was me, or anyone else in the room with me. And then
So
that's
tell me,
basically air traffic
why
control.
do people in society, yeah, so why do people in society find you intimidating? What's going on?
I mean, it's just like if I was, as a woman, I believe that people are just not used to a woman that's as young as me to be like, all right, I'm going to provide and I'm going to try and be like the big brother of the household. And I feel that it's more of a discomfort more than an intimidation. It's just something people are not used to, and that's fine. And it's the paved way, and I'm sure I'm not the only person out there. I'm just okay to speak about it. Because I have the means to do so, and I can see that my mother and my younger sisters needed my help at the
Hang on,
time.
I'm gonna
I
cut
knew
you
that I
again.
could
I'm
do
so
it.
sorry. You need to put back your earpods.
Oh
Like
no!
I'm seeing everybody's complaining about your voice. Everyone wants to hear your story, but like
Oh my
the
god!
voice
I don't
again.
have headphones
Sorry.
for it. Okay.
Hang on.
Is
Okay.
that working? No, it's better to tell me, otherwise I'm rambling.
I can
Is
hear
that
you.
better?
I can hear you. Go on. Yeah. I'm gonna post this again on
Okay,
YouTube
all
and
right.
everywhere for everyone to catch up. Okay, go on.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, where did I reach now? Yeah, so I think it's more of people just not being used to it and people not expecting
Yeah.
it, because there's a stigma of, especially in the UAE, that the women are more taken care of than being the ones that are taking care of people in terms of financially providing for them, and over here, it's just a different case, and it's more of a discomfort. And if more people started to do it, or more people owned up to the fact that they are helping their mothers, sisters, brothers, in my own personal group of friends, that I know that many of the girls in there are actually helping their families out. It's just it's not really spoken of or heard of. I feel that's what it is. And then when it comes to intimidation, I just think that it's just, I achieved a whole lot that was unexpected at a young age based on hard work. And I think that's basically it.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
I can't,
Can you tell us
that's
like
the best
what
I can explain it.
difficulties? Yeah. What difficulties do you usually face in the workplace? Given that, so I'm assuming there's not a lot of women where you work.
Yeah, it's
So
we're about
how is it like
maybe
there?
10% of women. Say again.
And how is it like?
Well, it's a male-dominated field, as you predicted, in air traffic control. It's always been the case. And there were maybe about 10% of women in my building, and only 2 of us are Emiratis and female. So yeah, and I mean, at the very beginning, it was a little bit difficult because only one girl had made it before me. And then other people that had come and gone, whether you're male or female, did struggle in the training because it's not easy. It's air traffic control. It's supposed to be difficult. You have thousands and thousands of lives in your hands in any given moment in time on a shift. So it's a difficult training course in general. And then because you're used to seeing men all around in this field, as a woman, it's just unexpected to see you there. And then I started when I was 19. So I was super young.
Oh
I
wow.
was the youngest that you could start. You know, I finished high school, took a year off to help my mom at the clinic. And when I was old enough to apply to ATC, I got into it at 19 and I started. So I'm 19 years old. I'm like doe-eyed. I have no idea what's going on. I didn't even know what air traffic control was when I started. I just applied and I hoped for the best.
Yeah.
And luckily, it worked out in that way. So the obstacles were that people were just not used to having another local girl around. You know, they
Yeah.
had one of them, and mashallah, she did a great job. And then I came along, and there was that doubt that I would make it. Like, I draw a lot, and I've always drawn. So like one example would have been I was drawing at work, and I left one of my scrap papers around, like on one of the positions, and one of the people had seen me, and he says to me, he's like, oh, like, you know, you can draw and like you're decent looking, like there, you might as well quit while you're ahead. Like you could maybe model and do some artwork, but you should just quit while you're ahead. Like you're not going to make it in this career whatsoever. And then eventually, alhamdulillah, I made it through, you know. And it was more of people discouraging me, and every time I was being encouraged, it was more of like, you need to be better than you need to work twice as hard to be half as good, really, you know. And that was more of the obstacle. So every time I was pushed to go ahead, I was told I would have to really, really work super extra hard to even be half as good, and I would always have to be better than the boys, you know. So that was definitely a difficulty. Also, another difficulty was part of my training was in the United Kingdom. So I studied there for about 4 months, and it was a culture shock. Like, firstly, I had to move out of home at the very beginning, and then I suddenly had to travel. It was myself and 5 other local boys in my batch, and we're just all 4 of us have been there. I've never been to Europe before, and all of a sudden I have to be there and adapt to the weather. It was freezing because it was winter time, and I had to walk every day to and from because the house was close enough where I was living. And it was a big shock. And then ATC is already difficult, so that was a huge shock in itself. Everything is time pressured. Everything is you know, you have to learn everything in a very short span of time, and it's a lot of content. Because if you can't handle learning something out of
Yeah.
a book quickly, why should anyone trust you with airplanes and people's lives on there? So it was high pressure anyway. And then you add the move, and you add leaving home for the first time, and being away from my mother and my 2 sisters.
So that's a lot of pressure on its own, and you've had clearly a lot of obstacles throughout your journey. So now tell me, how did you manage to block all these and overcome those obstacles? What are maybe 3 things you used for you to continue to be where you are today?
Well, in general, from the time I was young, I always did ballet from the time I was 4 years old. So I always had some kind of physical activity just to physically release whatever stress I had when it was growing up and having to care for my mother and sisters, whether it was in ATC. I used to run when I did my ATC training. And then now it's cycling. So there's always something different that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And then another thing, so that's one. Second thing is my group of friends. Like, we're all a group of very like-minded women. and we support each other. Like everyone has a different thing. Some are ATC, some are managers in airports, some of them are events managers, you know, and everyone is excelling in their own field in their own way, and we're all pushing each other to do better. Like, for example, if there's a project that's advertised at work for me, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to do it. I don't know if I can be, if I can add that extra part of myself. And I would just be like, you know what, I'm just going to leave it alone for now. And my friends would be like, no, you need to push yourself. And I would do the same for my other friends. We push each other to strive and work and everything, you know, whether it's
Nice.
to go for that run or to take that promotion.
That's really
And
nice.
let's see, what else is there? The third
The
thing
scribbling,
would
the
be
drawing.
the drawing. Oh yeah, that is there. Yeah, so my drawing is I started doing that all over again very recently during coronavirus because there was
Mm.
nothing to do. So I started drawing again. Um, hey buddy, shush. My dog. I'm sorry. So basically, hold on. Hey, no. Um, so basically, I'm sorry, like someone was
Don't worry
knocking on the
about it.
door and he went
It's okay.
crazy.
It's okay. Go on.
So then the drawings are over there. So I started drawing as well. And while I draw, I listen to an audio book, and it's normally an autobiography of someone. So recently I just finished Michelle Obama's. She's amazing, super inspiring. So that's basically, those are the three outlets. I would try and do some form of exercise. I'd keep people that are super close to me, that are like-minded, and we're all a support group to one another. And then what would be my art? Yeah.
Nice. Okay, Jouhayna, if you go back in time and let's say you're 10
Mm-hmm.
years old, what would you tell this person?
Well, if I was 10 years old, like I still wasn't 100% sure of what was going on at the time. I would
Yeah.
definitely speak to myself in my teens, right? Like from early teens up until I started ATC and I carried on. I would definitely tell myself to love myself more, because growing up there was a lot of bullying for my skin tone, my hair texture, my body shape. So I'd tell myself to love myself. I would also tell myself that I should definitely try to be okay with standing out the way that I do, whether it's based on my looks or the career that I've decided to take or the decisions that I would make in any regard. It's okay to be different. Don't worry about it. And half the time I do something different, people go like, oh, why are you doing that? And then people tend to follow eventually, you know, they're like, oh, okay, well, she managed to do it. Let's carry on. Um, and also, what else can I think of?
I
And
think
just
I
basically
think
be
those are
okay.
really good advices for anybody aspiring to become or like get in the aviation. That's really nice. Or anybody getting into
Anything and
any
anything.
passion, anything. Exactly. That's really nice. Okay.
Yeah, and
Um,
also to hang in there. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
exactly. So what does woman empowerment means to you?
Women empowerment, right? Okay, so it basically is to like just be there for one another, because we all know about the cattiness that tends to be there and it's underlying, and I think it's a shame, you know, if we
Yeah.
all put that aside and we're like, you know what, Tima, you're amazing, you're great at speaking to people, you climb mountains, you're so inspiring, you make me want to run in the morning. Like that's something that I'm like, oh, that's great, I should definitely join you to do that. And for me as
Mm.
well, like if I can inspire someone to do their art instead of people going like, oh, why is she drawing so much, or why is she bothering with this online shop, because I've had people do that, they're like, why are you even bothering with this? And it's like, how about we just be like, good on you, let's see what happens with it, and just support each other in whatever it is, you know, mostly good decisions. Maybe a
Nice.
few
I
bad ones,
think I
but
think you get
mostly good
this from the
decisions. We just need to
support
support
group
each
that you
other.
have already. Like it's beautiful how you have
Yeah,
this support group of women, and I think a lot of us women need that in our lives. A lot of women doesn't have
100%.
that, and then it becomes too competitive. And as you said, there's this cat
Yeah,
fight happening over unnecessary
yeah, and
things. But
it's
it's nice
unnecessary
when
and it's a
women get
shame.
together, support each other. This is how we all rise.
Yeah, and honestly, that feels a lot better than anything else, because when you know another girl is helping you out, you know it's genuine. You know that it's coming from the heart, especially,
Yeah,
and you know you're doing the same back, you know, and you could
yeah.
definitely help elevate each other more for whatever it is, you know. So
Well, I
that's
hope
also
more
there.
women like support each other so we can all rise and elevate,
I
as you said.
agree.
Yeah,
I agree, because if we can all stick together and then carry on to build something, whatever it is, it could be anything.
yeah.
It would definitely be amazing, and it would definitely. I feel I don't know how to word it. genuinely. But it would definitely be a much better way to build something up. It would be, I don't know how to word it, but
No,
it
I
would
get
definitely
you.
be
I
better.
get you. I think we will all do amazing, and if like, especially in the Middle East, I think we really need that in the Middle East as women to
Yeah,
all gather up. And I had Hanan El Hashmi the other day, and she said about a woman
yeah,
majlis where all women get together to solve problems, help each other, and all that. I hope like
yeah.
she actually does this at one point. So let's see.
That
So
sounds really good.
me and Jouhayna and I are working on HERway and her story. So we're collaborating and we're creating a whole page. So through Jouhayna's drawing, every woman would get, do you call it a scribble? Is that what it's called?
I call it a scribble because I scribble away.
Okay, so Johanna will get inspired from that woman. She'll probably text her that like get in touch. So we'll have a video, a quote from that woman, and a scribble of what Johanna gets inspired by. Is there anything you want to add on that?
Well, how it originated, how
We have a
everyone,
very
how it
funny
started was,
question after you're done. Is have you ever vectored
yeah.
a plane wrong? I think you should answer that question.
Have I ever vectored a plane wrong? Of course, in a simulator, that's how you learn, right? You know, definitely, like that's the whole point of training. Like training takes 2.5 years, so you definitely work towards that. And when you're ready to go and you're validated, you definitely don't do that. But yeah, in the simulator, 100%,
I
especially
think
early days, like
I think you'd be in the news if you vectored a plane wrong by now.
exactly. I would be famous for something else.
Okay, so what about her way and her story?
HERway and her story. So, a backstory of how it happened to start with was I started drawing because of quarantine and lockdown, right? And then Tima saw my art and she's like, "Oh my God, I love it." And I was like, "Well, tell me what you want." And she said, "Oh, I like mountains. Just kidding. Don't worry about it." I was like, "I'll draw you some mountains." So I started making the mountains and I sent her a picture of it and I tried to work with it. And then eventually she really liked it. And I was like, you know what? No, wait, it was your idea to make it a project, right? Of like making an art piece for different women. Like for you, you are a mountaineer. And then for another air traffic controller, I could do that, a pilot, engineer, anyone that wants an art piece dedicated to them that signifies them. And it could be their like little logo or something. And that's
Nice.
how it started. So project Her Story was you telling your story through my art. And then HERway is when you do the interviews, people explain how their way is. And, collaborating that I think is going to be great.
Looking forward. Okay, Shohaina,
Yes,
it
me
was
too.
fun chatting with you. I think there is a lot of questions for you, especially about crashing planes and stuff like that. So good luck answering the questions. Anyone who have
To
any
be
question
honest,
can
like
go. What's your
tag me,
so
text me.
yeah? So text her on voice and a pilot's headset. Is that what it is?
Yes, yes,
Good.
because I am the voice
Okay.
on a pilot's headset.
All right. It was nice having you. Thank you so much, and have a
Yes,
great
thank
evening.
you. Thank
All
you. You
right.
too. Take care. Bye.
Bye.